Hello, hello. I am live for the drive at 5:30. Live for the drive at 5:30. I know the 30 is the most important part because it's 5:30. I'm driving through beautiful Los Angeles, California on my way home from work, looking out at the Pacific Ocean. I've never really shown everyone what I'm looking at. Let's see if we can do this here. This is kind of exciting. Okay, that doesn't look good, but you can kind of see the palm trees. I know it's really out of focus. So there's the car in front of me. Yeah, there's the palm trees. There's a fence right there, but I'm driving along on the Pacific Coast Highway. Just enjoying myself, keep the windows down, the ocean breeze in my hair, and the tunes in my ears. It's amazing what your senses can do for you. I mean, how often do you take a bite of something and it just takes you to someplace else? I just 5 minutes ago ate an apple, and I took a bite of that apple, and it took me to being 6 years old, picking apples on our church apple orchard. It tasted exactly like that. Or when you hear a song and it takes you, you hear those first few notes of Sweet Child of Mine, and you're like, wow, you're back in high school, or you're in college, and you're thinking about, whatever you did in high school or college. I don't want to get too graphic, but you know what I mean. Or you smell something. Obviously, for me, I smell like bread baking, and I think about coming home from school and my mom baking bread. But it is so powerful, your sense memory, and how it just can transform you to another time and place, whether it's taste or smell or hearing something. So 4 viewers. All right, Sherry Cox Alford, welcome. So today I said I was going to talk about this article that was in the New York Times. I had a few friends email it to me this morning, and I read the whole thing. And if anyone didn't get a chance to see it, I'll sum it up real quick. The season 8, as many of you may or may not know, I was season 1 winner of The Biggest Loser. So I am forever tied to Biggest Loser. Anytime it's in the news or whatever, people are going to let me know, oh, did you see this? Did you hear this? Did you do that? 6 viewers. Wow. We're setting a record. 3 minutes in and 6 viewers. So there's an article in the New York Times that a lot of people sent me this morning and emailed me or texted me or sent on Facebook. And season 8 of The Biggest Loser was tracked for the last, I think, 8 or 9 years since it was on, how they were doing on their weight loss and what their metabolism was. And I don't know how they measure somebody's metabolism, but apparently they have something that can measure your metabolism. And it turns out that as these people lost a bunch of weight, first of all, of the 15 or 16 people that were on the show, I think all but one had gained the majority of their weight back. And one may have been about the same weight as he or she finished at the end of the show. But for the most part, they'd all gained all their weight back. Or not all, but most of their weight back. And for some of them, that was, gaining well over 100 pounds back. And unfortunately, I know all about that. I had lost, 122 pounds. I gained 30 pounds back within 3 days because I had just done so many stupid things in order to lose that weight. As far as, wrestling things I had done in high school, I completely dehydrated myself. I didn't put any, for the last 10 days, I just did the Master Cleanse, if you know what that is. And it's not smart. I don't suggest it to anyone, but it helped me lose my final 25 pounds and probably helped me win the show. But it was not good for my body, I'm sure. So I did the Master Cleanse, and then the last 24 hours I put no fluids in my body and worked out like a madman. So I was so dehydrated, I was, not to get too graphic, but there was blood in my urine, and it was not pretty. So And then I, over the next few years, slowly but surely, gained all the way back. I went over where I was by about 15 pounds. Now I'm at about 30 pounds less than when I finished The Biggest Loser. The difference is I have been much more active in the 11 years since The Biggest Loser ended. So it's, it's gone up and down as anyone who has a lifelong issue with food and with body knows. It's a journey for the rest of your life. So they followed these guys from season 8 and found that once they lost that weight, their metabolism decreased. And the more they tried to lose weight and get thinner, their metabolism would hold them back, and it would go lower and lower and lower. And even as they got back up to where they were when they started The Biggest Loser, their metabolism never got as high as it was before they even did The Biggest Loser. So based on metabolism alone, they were better off staying at that higher weight because their metabolism was higher. So in order to lose weight, when your metabolism is low, in order to lose weight, they have to eat a lot less. When one person with a high metabolism might be able to eat 2,000 calories a day and lose weight, these people were having to eat, 1,000, 1,200 calories a day to lose the same amount of weight because their metabolism had gotten so low. Now the article, as far as I read through it a couple times. The one thing that was really depressing about this article is it didn't have any solutions. It was just, this is what happened, and they're screwed. Now, I've never had my metabolism checked, but I'm guessing that I'm in the same boat as these people. My metabolism, I probably could eat more 10 years ago and not gain as much weight as when I gain weight now. I can gain and lose 5 to 10 pounds in a week, either way. Obviously, I have a lot more body mass, and it's easier for me to lose weight, but it's also easier for me to gain weight. So, and so I'm thinking, where do I go with this? What do I do? This is some info that's like, it's hard to process because you're basically learning you're kind of screwed. I never regret going on The Biggest Loser because, I had a great time. It was harder on my wife than it was on me. Luckily, we didn't have kids on the time. The production, she didn't feel like the production treated her very well, and they kind of jerked her around. But not a ton, but some. There's this, don't tell anybody, but there is a secret Biggest Loser contestant Facebook group, but it's secret. Don't tell anyone. Where we can only talk to other contestants, and they don't let anybody else in. No one from the show that worked on the show, no fans, nobody else. You have to be a contestant on The Biggest Loser in order to be in this Facebook group. So we talk about this, and there was a lot of discussion in that group today about this article in the New York Times. So where do you go from there? You've got, that you're kind of screwed. And I guess you just have to accept that this is your life. And you have to almost look at it like a religion, I guess you said. If you want to be healthy, you have to look at it like a religion. And that this is something that you just don't do once in a while, but you have to live this way. As far as this is always something that's going to be hanging over you, that you need to eat right and exercise, and you can't take a couple months off. There's not going to be an end in sight. In my mind, I've always thought, well, when I get to X amount of weight, then I don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's never happened to me. I've been at X amount of weight. At the end of The Biggest Loser, I was down to like 206 or something like that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to live like this. But like I said, within days, it started coming back on. And I still, the workouts became less and less. You're sitting at a desk all day. And that's another thing that's really, that maybe this, I don't know if this article took into account. As people get older, I would think their metabolism slows down. I don't know. So over that 8-year period, people's metabolism must have slowed down. And you're not working out as much as you are when you're on the show. So I know that building body mass, building more muscle increases your metabolism. So I go back and sit at my desk for 8 hours a day emailing people, and that obviously hurts my metabolism. But I will say it did help me get a better frame of mind for exercise. Before I went on The Biggest Loser, my wife would say, hey, let's go hiking. She's like, oh, it's not a very big hill. Let's just go. We'd get there, and it would be a little bit of an incline, and I'd be like, you said there was no hill. This is a hill. You're going to make me hike this hill? Now, I don't mind exercising. I've done the Malibu Triathlon, I think 4 or 5 times. I'm not fast. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the fastest guy out there. But I will say, if they had an over 250-pound category in triathlons, I would win that. I would. But they don't have a 250-plus pound, because sometimes I look around and I think I might be the biggest guy doing the whole triathlon. But, if anybody wants to start a 250-plus pound division in triathlons, I will fully support you. Oh my gosh, I'm at 11 minutes, 13 seconds, so I'm well over my 10-minute mark. So anyway, that's where I stood on the article in the New York Times. I'm going to refocus my energies and try to treat this like, everyone says this. It's been in many books, but it's a lifetime. It's not just this month. It's not this week. It's a lifetime of trying to be healthy and knowing that those the pain you put into it is worth the reward. And not pain, but the giving up those things is worth the reward of being healthy. And I know I have a long way to go until I'm at my peak health, and I may never get there, but I can try it today. I can do it today. I drank a lot of water today. I wrote down everything I ate today. Those are 2 things I can do. I can do that. I can drink water, and I can write down what I eat. So, anyway, I will say adieu. And there's some people that join that I don't know. Mikey and Denny, or Mickey, sorry. I hope everyone has a great evening, wherever they may be, and that you can find joy in what might be a mediocre life. Okay? Have a good one. See ya.